Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us. We are live again Friday today on our Friday episode of Where Mindset Changes. So today we have proud business owners, digital franchise owners trying to look at some of the topics or questions we have lined up today to make sure people understand when they say, I want to start a digital franchise business. But before we get into that, I want to encourage everyone, wherever you're watching us, just sit tight and contribute to the conversation. So we're going to start with an introduction of who we have on the panel today. I will start with myself. My name is Dr. Julia. I'm a nurse, I'm a mother, an immigrant nurse leader from Nigeria, but I live in the United States now, a proud digital franchise business owner. So I'm going to call Mentor Nancy. Please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hello and good day, good afternoon, good morning. I am Nancy Ndunda, a master's prepared nurse in adult gerontology, and I live in the United States. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mentor Nancy. I'm going to call Dr. T. She can introduce herself.
Hello, welcome to our program today where mindset changes. My name is Dr. Tulshe. I live in the United Kingdom. I'm a business educator and digital franchise entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. T. So we're going to call Coach Dorothy so that she can introduce herself.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. If it's your first time to see me, my name is Dorothy from Uganda, originally currently in the United States, a proud digital business coach globally, an entrepreneur, a mother. We are so glad to have you here in the shoot room. Back to you, Dr. G.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that amazing introductions. We're all over the world, right? US, UK. So that's what makes this business really, a very good one to be part of. So again, if you're watching us from anywhere, please contribute to the discussion. We want to hear what you're thinking and, why are you not here? We have pulled in a lot of questions to make people who are thinking about joining this digital franchise business so that they understand what they're getting into, because we receive a lot of questions from people that are thinking, I'm thinking, but I don't do this, I can't do this, I don't have time, I don't do this. All those questions are very legit, but we have pulled up a lot of questions, but because of our time today, we probably will try to highlight maybe 2 or 3 questions so that we can share some of the things to make people comfortable when they're thinking about starting a new business, especially in the digital world. So, like I said, we have so many questions, but I always tell people, do you have clarity? I want to do this. Do you have clarity? Have you done your homework? Do you know what you're getting into? I always use this word. Did you do your due diligence? Did you do your due diligence? And what does that represent? Let's use the digital franchise business we're talking about. You saw something on Julia's website, Dr. T's website, Mentor Nancy website, Coach Dorothy website, and it sounds so exciting. Of course it is. It sounds so true to be good. Of course it is. I want to do it. Do you want to do it just because you know Julia? It's a good thing if you want to know it, because Dr. Julia is doing it and is working, Mentor Nancy is doing it and is working, Dr. T is doing it and is working, Coach Dorothy has been doing it for over 4 years, earning online, doing so much, good stuff. But it is also important you do your due diligence. The number one question everybody asks, is this a legitimate business? Oh, yes, it is. But if you're out there, you don't have information, you may not understand it is illegitimate. And it's expected that you do your due diligence, to clear the way, to have the clarity so that yes, I'm getting into this. So without wasting more time, I want our panelists to highlight some of these questions I'm going to ask. And Dr. T, I'm going to start with you. As a digital franchise business owner and somebody want to venture in this area that we have been, enjoying for some time now. So my question to you is, what daily activities do you think can move somebody forward in a better direction in a digital franchise business?
Thank you so much, Dr. Julia. Like you said, coming into the digital space, when we say digital, that means you are working online. And we are a franchise. That means we are connected to, a traditional business. We use the business model. So each day, you don't just wake up and think your business will run by itself because you are told automation does a bulk of the work. You must learn what to do. You must do that which you need to do daily to move your business forward. One, you are coming to a new terrain. You need to acquire the skills. We are offered training. You must make up your mind to learn. Follow the training. And in acquiring skills, learning, you don't just go through the training, you implement. You don't just go watching all the videos all day. The training, the knowledge you get, you implement, you put them to use. You know the service you need to render. One, we follow up. We offer service, we have products, you follow up. As a new person, you need to know the people to follow up daily. You need to know how to follow them up. You are a digital business owner. You need to be visible because you are online. Digital is online. What do you need to do to be visible? You follow the model. You learn to create posts. You are taught. Then you create these posts, reels. You want people to see the value you want to render. One, the people are overworked. They want something they can do, to earn extra income. You have to be visible. Then you need to daily, this is one of the most important duties. We follow up on our prospects, on our leads, on our, you're going to be having prospects. You follow them up. You ensure you give them what? Service, listening ear. Then, of course, each day, you have to decide what to achieve, evaluate, and see that, you're on the right track. The next day, you see where you have erred, where you have not improved, and you do all to get better. Each day is not the same, but you deliberately see that you are productive, not just busy. Thank you, and God bless you.
Wow, you're productive, not just busy. You're productive, not just busy. Thank you so much, Dr. T. Mentor Nancy, do you have anything to add to that? I know she has, I took a lot of notes. I'm going to summarize. Do you have any, just in one sentence, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I want just to bring it up. Actually, I like what Dr. T said. You have to be visible. And a simple example that I regularly refer to is companies like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. We have known them since we were very young as children. Even in the smallest villages around the world, they're known to be existing. But every day or every other day, you see an advert. Why is Coca-Cola advertising? It's called visibility, and it's called awareness. People cannot choose or pick what they don't understand or what they don't see. So when you are visible in front of people, what Dr. Torishe said was, it's simple. You have to be seen, to be remembered, and to stay connected. So that is what Coca-Cola, the big companies who are successful do. They stay consistent, they stay in front of people's faces so that people can know what to choose from. And that is one of the things you have to do as a business owner so that people can know you exist. And that is the only way even successful companies stay on top of fresh in people's minds. That's all I need to add for that because Dr.
Wow.
Torishe did a good job on it.
She did. And I like that addition because, I mean, I know my age. Coca-Cola was here before I started seeing Coca-Cola many, when I can see when I begin, eat and drink in high school. So if they are still here advertising, who am I not to advertise my business, right?
Correct.
If I don't advertise my business, who's going to advertise it for me? Nobody.
Nobody.
It's me. I have to be visible. Dr. T just said it one word. This is an online business. What do you do online? It's not, you don't need to go anywhere to set up your product or your services. So you have to be visible online, telling people what you're doing, the value. That word value is something that has stuck with me. Dr. T even shared it, I think, few weeks ago. What value do you bring? What are you selling? How am I going to benefit from that? And another thing she mentioned that I'm like, oh my goodness. She said, you need to do not what you want to do. Something you need to do, two different things. What you want to do, you can decide you don't want to do it. But what you need to do, that's where the consistency, since I joined this business, I'm hearing you consistency, I'm hearing commitment. And that's what you need to do on daily basis. Not you do it on Monday, you wait for next week Monday. You do it on Tuesday, you wait for, So I'm sure our viewers are going to benefit from, these regular discussions we do here. We just bring it home so that people understand. She also mentioned about that you'll be trained, you will have the skills. She said, it is important you implement the training, not just flip, scroll those trainings and finish them under 1 month, 2 months, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Are you implementing? So that is very important. If you are here listening to us, when you go through those trainings, you have to implement them for you to be successful. You see how they work together? So that's amazing. So Dr. T has and Mentor Nancy, you guys have highlighted that question. I'm sure our people whoever is watching us now have something to take home on that. If you're thinking about starting, a digital business, I want Coach Dorothy, because this business, like I said, is a hanging fruit. It's too sweet to be true, too good. So, Coach Dorothy, can you explain to people listening, watching us, what is the model for this business we are so happy to be part of? How do people make money? Because that's a question that comes up every second, every minute. Because if you don't understand what's the model of the business, it's hard for you to make money. I hear you all the time, Julia, you need to strategize. You need to strategize. So can you please, share with our viewers what is the model of this business and how can people make money?
Well, that's a wonderful question, and thank you so much, the panelists, for today, Dr. T and Nancy. of what you've just mentioned. Our last question simply tells us that success comes from what you do consistently, not what you do occasionally, right? That's what exactly it means. But when we come back to the question, what is our business model about? A lot of people, they say everybody's talking about online business, but they're not explaining it exactly. That's why we need everybody to do due diligence. That's what Dr. G told us in the beginning. Are you doing your due diligence? Because if somebody's advertising something, of course, they leave the website to go and get all that information. So if you don't give yourself a chance to dig deep, of course, you will scrolling, Scrolling, sometimes it makes people to slow down. It turns you to be slowing because you will just go scrolling, not to gather information. So I hope you have a pen and a paper now. Our business, basically, you must understand how business operates, not only ours. Because in any business, if you really want to have a successful business, the first thing to understand is how does it operate? And in our business model is a franchise digital business in health and wellness industry. So we use digital marketing and social media to connect with the right people who are looking for business opportunity and wellness solutions. So you need to understand when you run a business, do you have a solution to somebody's problem? So I can give an example here. The business earns through the sales of the products and the service. So it also provides a proven training, mentorship, and the community support. You should never start a business simply because maybe Dr. Julia is making a lot of money there. Maybe Dr. T is making a lot of money there. Maybe, maintenance is making a lot of money out of the business. I don't believe that should be something we should push you to start something. However, with our most of African mentality, they need to be convinced, Convince me how much have you made for me to start. Nobody's going to convince you to be successful, right? So you need to go deep and understand yourself. But when it comes to ours, you should never, as I mentioned earlier, that you should never start a business because someone told you that you could make money. Understand the product, the service, the compensation structure, your responsibilities, that's very important, and how customers benefit. A lot of people are looking to start a business for them to benefit from from the business. But if you want to benefit 100 times in your business, look for how your customers are going to benefit. So when it comes to our business, our customers are benefiting a lot. One, because it's mainly designed for those hardworking people, and you're tired of living that paycheck to paycheck. You feel like you're exhausted, your body is demanding to retire before retirement age, and you feel like you're in that situation and you're looking for a solution. So it means you have a problem and we are providing a solution. And that comes with mentorship, coaching, training, community support. So it's a lot, I should say, involved. And back to you, the host.
Wow. Like you said, do you have your pen and paper? The business model and how you make your money. It's about your customer. It's not about you. That is sitting with me now. It's about your customer, not you. What are you doing that is about me and not about you? That's a great question. I was just reflecting how, I don't know how we pick these questions, and look at how they are interconnected with, this one leads to that one leads to that one. So I want to believe that people listen, or even if you're going to go and, after we finish with the episode and you want to do a replay, please pay attention and contribute to the conversation. I want to hear what you're thinking, what is holding you out there, that you see this hanging fruit and people are not just plugging it like that. She used the word automation. And Dr. T, when she spoke in the first question, she also mentioned that automation doesn't mean that you go home and you sleep. You have to do your part. You have to do the due diligence and to understand the business model and how you can make money. The compensation structure is open, it's out there for you, so that you understand it and make good use of it. That's another thing. If you don't understand it or you read it, but you're not using it, it's going to be pointless for you. So thank you so much, Coach Dorothy. The mentorship and the guidance is a huge part, because I know when people come into something new, even in the in the healthcare world, you hire a nurse, you mentor them. The degree is something. They have that PhD, that master's, but when they come to your institution, you want them to succeed for sustainability. You put them on orientation, depending on the hospital protocol, depending on the organizational protocol, so that they understand the policy and procedure of that particular institution. So that is very good. It is a part of the package for this business. Wow. So, Mentor Nancy, I'm going to come to you. I know we have added the question I'm going to ask now. We have mentioned it here and there, but I just want you to share to our viewers, what problem are we solving and for whom?
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Julia. Whenever it comes to any business, even when we look at, I'll move away from our business and I'll come back to it in a second. Even a supermarket is there to meet a need. When you go into a supermarket, you're going in there to get groceries. Whenever somebody opens even a hospital, which is the area I'm privy to, hospitals, yes, they are there to help people get well, but at the end of it, there's profit being made when people are coming in. So regardless to what aspect of business you go into, at the end of it, there is a need. In the hospital, people are getting better or being treated. When you go to the supermarket, we need food, we're getting food, we're getting different things in the supermarket. So when we come to this business, the need is for different people, because first of all, it's a digital business. When I talk about, for me, because I am very busy Monday to Friday with my 9 to 5, I wanted something that would fit within those free pockets that could help me generate extra money. And this worked out for me. So it met that need that I had of something that could work around my free time. This business is usually tailored to help to meet different needs. We have people who are busy parents. They don't have time with their children. You're running around thinking, okay, I need to get this done. I need to get the kids to the soccer game. I need to get them to piano. People have a very busy schedule of their own, plus their children or even grandchildren. This business comes in handy because whether it's the training or even leave alone the training, even you conducting your business, whether it's being visible to your customers, you can do it in those free pockets of time. So this business meets that need. On the other aspect of it is we are providing services, and also we have products, and these are health products, because right now we know most people are on this health kick where you want to have a healthy lifestyle. So we have the products that help with health and wellness. So that is a need for people who are looking for a healthier lifestyle. And with it comes, for the people who are looking to make income too, get this flexible income pocket where, for example, when we talk about nurses, and I always go back to where I'm comfortable, and CNAs and healthcare workers in general, we see that an 8-hour shift is what is usually 8 to 12 hours is considered a good normal shift where you can work and leave the shift without making errors. But what studies have shown is after the 8-hour, 12-hour mark, you increase the number of mistakes you make, made errors, forgetting I was supposed to toilet this patient or left a patient in the toilet, they fell. You find that errors start happening after where your body starts shutting down. And that is why there's this shift where people have been told we cannot go past this number of hours. Nobody should work past this number of hours. Why? Because study has shown the body can only work this far. Now, when it comes to this business, if instead of looking for a second job where you're bound to make mistakes and get your license taken away from you or get reported, because all issues don't end up in healthcare, don't end up in your license only being taken away. You could also go to jail for a mistake you made. So this job, I mean, this business gives you an in where, yes, you can continue with your 9 to 5 where you work very well in your making those hours. Then the extra pocket, instead of getting a second job, you have this job to supplement, this business to supplement, because it will work around those hours instead of you getting a second job where you go and make mistakes and find yourself now in another situation. You use this job to become this business to become your second income. So this is fitting into different pockets. It is very diverse, whether you're stay-at-home mom who's very busy with the children's schedule, or you're a person who's already in the field working and you're looking for an income, this will work for you. Or if you're a person who's in the healthcare or who's looking to live a healthy lifestyle, this also works. So the need in this business serves multiple diverse people. And back to you, Dr. Julia.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mentor Nancy. So this business, I would say is for everyone, right? It's for everyone. Hardworking mom, parents, individuals, professionals, engineers, pharmacists. That's why it's so diverse when I come to mastermind and hear people's, I'm an engineer, I'm a pharmacist, I'm a diplomat, I'm a nurse, I'm like, wow, you just have to be inside to really understand that this is for everyone. It's for it's for truck drivers, it's for everyone. Especially us immigrants. I'm gonna just be frank with you. We come in here with this big vision, right? I want to help the whole family members back home. I want to help the whole world back home. You keep flying from job to job. I like what you mentioned, Mentor Nancy, when you talked about that. After in the nursing though, is a labor law. You can't work more than 16 hours. After 16 hours, you're not effective and efficient. But when we come newly, we think it's a joke until you get into trouble or make one error that causes your license. So having this, and another thing you mentioned, we said this is plan B. I hear a lot of people say I started it as a plan B, now it's my plan A. Like our coach is a living witness, she's right here with us, correct? This is her full-time job, making reasonable good income generation, not even just good income, generational, wealth for the family. So this is amazing. So the business is for anyone, hardworking parents, hardworking professionals. So I'm going to throw out this last question because we're rounding up here. It's connected to everything we have spoken here. And maybe Dr. T, anybody, can jump into it. So if I'm thinking about signing up for this business, you know, what will I be doing to stay, or why? What is the importance of being consistent and committed to it? Because I hear it, everybody tell you have to be consistent, you have to be committed. So what are the benefits of being consistent and committed? Maybe Dr. T, you can just highlight a little bit and then.
Okay. When it comes to the digital franchise business, it is not an employment. It's not employment where you get salary. So your income is not fixed. like what Elon Musk said, the richest man in the world. He said, when you want to go into business, don't think about money. Think about the service to render, impact. That impact brings about value, and value is what? Currency.
Wow.
So you are coming into the digital space. You are not inventing a product, a model. You are working on an already existing model. So you have to acquire the skills to provide service, because products are involved, services are involved. How do you ensure these products are sold? Yes, a compensation plan is a high ticket commission, but sales has to be done. We are involved in what? Attraction marketing. So how do you offer your service? You just need to know that. You need to know how to be consistent. Like 2 weeks ago, I was just saying, God, July is coming to an end. No, the beginning of July. I said, oh my God, this is about the middle of July. Lord, I've not done something, substantial. Instead of remaining in that sober mood, I started thinking of what to do. I started to show up for myself. I started doing research. What is XYZ doing to remain on top? I started reading about successful people. And that was why I came on what Alhaji Dangote said. He said, if you are struggling, one, remain on the right path, doing the right thing consistently until you succeed. You want to be successful in the digital space? What are the services to render? What are the skills you need? Consistently show up for yourself. Be committed. Flexibility is involved. But it's not easy. You have to what? You have to target yourself. What are the services to render? What are the people to follow? And the time you is, you will see yourself, you are improving. And of course, the results will show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. T. So consistency and commitment leads to successful results, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we see that. Anybody has something, Coach Dorothy, Mentor, Nancy, you want to add something while we round up? No.
I think when it comes to showing up, Dr. T has done a good job in rounding it up. But most importantly is we all need to remember, like anything else, if you get into this business and you want to go into it casually, then expect casual results. But if you get into it and you get there, get serious, give consistent, show up every day and seriously be ready for your business, then you will get consistent and serious results. So it's all about what you put in is what you get out. And that is the truth about everything in life. So be consistent, you get consistent results. Be casual, you get casual results. That's all I need to add.
Thank you. Stay right there, Mentor. Nancy, stay right there. So as we round up this episode today, what is your takeaway for our viewers?
So our takeaway is we need to, whenever it comes to business, we need to give ourselves permission to take calculated risks. Sometimes people are very scared and you choose, I will not act, oh, what if this doesn't work? Or what if this doesn't work out for me? But what if it does? What if it works out? What if this is the breakthrough that you've been waiting for? So everybody has talked about doing the due diligence. So after you do your due diligence, give yourself permission to get into business and take calculated risks so that you can get some results. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Dr. T, one word. What's your takeaway for the discussion today?
Okay, looking at the economy worldwide, the inflation is just galloping. And a lot of us, we have outstayed our financial skill and service position. Many people are in survival mode. You want life to be better for you, for your family, you have to step out of the comfort zone. With AI, you need to start doing something, a side hustle, an additional income stream is what you need. One job is not enough in 2026.
Thank you.
That's true.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Coach Dorothy, in a one sentence, what is your takeaway for our viewers and participants?
I should say that everybody who is watching us out there, you don't need to know everything before starting a digital business or even before starting any other business, but you must understand who you are helping. As our people on the panelist here shared, right? Dr. T shared for the Dangote, experience. So you need to understand the person you're helping and how the business works, and then what actions you need to take every day. Most people skip that, and have a clear plan. Learn the necessary skills, follow the guidance of your mentor, and then remain consistent. Even when you feel like results are slow, because it's like once you go to school, today you go, tomorrow you don't go, next week you go, the other week you don't go. Will you graduate? It's the same thing as business. So your mentor can show you the way, but your commitment and daily actions will determine your success. And back to you, the host.
Wow. 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 A lot of nuggets being shared. I think this we're gonna keep this question and session for a little bit. Maybe next Friday we pull up, because this is going to help a lot of people thinking out there that comfort zone is so sweet to stay. It's very sweet to stay in a comfort zone. But when you step up a little bit outside your comfort zone and take that calculated risk, your result speaks for itself. So if you're watching out there, I was watching Dr. T mention Dankota. I saw something about him, and I was reading. They asked him one question. He said, I don't need much. I'm just worried about people out there. I'm like, wow. Say, I don't need much for myself. What I'm doing now is how can we fix Africa? These are his words. He said, you cannot expect other continent to come and fix Africa. That Africa need to fix Africa. So you need to fix yourself. Julia, I am the best person to help myself by stepping outside my comfort zone, by asking questions. Even when I come into the business, I ask questions, 1,010 questions every second, every minute, going that extra mile, doing what I'm supposed to do every single day, staying consistent and staying commitment. And on that note, this aligns with this episode of Where Mindset Changes. Our mindset, your mindset, it has so much to determine your direction. If you close it up in that your little comfort zone, very scared of stepping out the comfort zone, you probably stay there for, quite a bit. But if you open your mind, positive attitude, let me look at this thing they're talking about. I mean, all these 300,000 people, 300,000, they're not stupid. These are professionals. These are intelligent people. I've known many of them. I'm following them, So It's amazing. So thank you so much, my panelists. I truly, truly appreciate your commitment to this episode, your contributions, so to our participants, our viewers out there. Thank you, thank you. We can't thank you enough. We encourage you to continue to listen to us and join us by this time next Friday. Thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.